Mixed messages from British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. One letter to EU Council President Donald Tusk requesting a Brexit extension, but left unsigned. And another letter to Tusk, arguing against such a delay, this time bearing the UK Prime Minister's signature. Outside Parliament, demonstrators cheered as British lawmakers voted to delay the approval of the Brexit deal, forcing Johnson to send the request to the EU. Hundreds of thousands marched through the streets of London, calling for a second referendum. Johnson had initially said he would not request a delay, despite the vote.
I will not negotiate a delay with the EU, and neither does the law compel me to do so. I will tell our friends and colleagues in the EU exactly what I have told everyone in the last 88 days that I've served as Prime Minister, that further delay would be bad for this country, bad for our European Union, and bad for democracy.
But legal experts and opposition Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn said Johnson was legally bound.
Today is an historic day for Parliament because it said it will not be blackmailed by a Prime Minister who is apparently prepared once again to defy a law passed by this Parliament. I invite him to think very carefully about the remarks he just made about refusing, apparently, to apply for the extension which the EU No. 2 Act requires him to do.
EU leaders have made it clear they do not want an extension.
And I was ruling out that there will be any kind of prolongation. If we have a deal, we have a deal. And there is no need for prolongation. That's not only the British view, that's my view too.
Now the Prime Minister is seeking advice as to how he can get Brexit done by the end of the month. But Northern Ireland's influential Democratic Unionist Party is still unconvinced over the deal. And members have said they will consider all previous amendments, which includes one backing a second referendum, the prospects of which would further brighten the mood among the throng still clinging to their European dream.
DW's Barbara Vazel is in London, and she's been following all the latest Brexit twists and turns for us. Hello to you, Barbara. So, two letters contradicting one another. What does Boris Johnson hope to achieve by sending these?
He is absolutely trying to sort of keep his word on both sides of the divide, so to say. If we listen carefully to what we just say, when he said he would not negotiate a deal with the EU, he was very careful there that because there's nothing to negotiate. He just simply has to ask, and he did that. But now the lawyers will have to think about what it means if somebody obeys the letter of a law but defies the spirit of the law. Legally, you call that acting in bad faith. And there will certainly be another struggle about whether this was good enough. On the other hand, he even sent a third letter to the European Union saying that this first letter asking for an extension was just sent by Parliament, the unsigned one. Now, the Speaker could sign it. All this is just a lot of formality around the essential battle at the core of this struggle, which is who is going to have control of the Brexit process. Parliament wants to take back control, managing the next steps, and the government wants to do likewise. And we don't know yet who is going to be victorious in this.
All right, and yet Johnson keeps saying he's determined to make Brexit happen as he agreed by the 31st of October. But is he going to be able to get his deal passed without an extension?
It is still possible because we have all of next week, and we have learned a week can be a very long time in British politics, particularly in Brexit politics. So what will happen is he might have another go on Monday and bringing his bill back, but the Speaker might not allow that. But on Tuesday, then certainly the Brexit withdrawal bill, that is the legal sort of enactment, the implementation of the treaty with the EU, will be on the table. And then the opposition and the rebel army will try to attach further amendments, oblige the government to stay with a softer Brexit, maybe even table an amendment for a second referendum. But that is unclear. There doesn't seem to be a majority for that. Anyway, this is still all very fluid. But Boris Johnson still has a chance to push this through before the end of the month, because at the moment, if we look at it, he seems to have the numbers for it.
Barbara Vasil reporting for us from London. Thank you.